Two students of the University of Yaoundé have been taken away by security forces after they were accused of having conspired to take away some 400 laptops of the President Paul Biya's higher education vision. The quality of laptops sent to the university institution. Meantime, vaccination against COVID-19 will soon go underway in the northwest region of Cameroon. The region has received over 11,000 doses of COVID-19. It is this vaccine. It is the same case in the littoral region. The littoral region of Cameroon, on its part, has received some 34,200 doses of COVID-19, and still in the littoral region of Cameroon, while they were receiving COVID-19 vaccines, Banga, a part of the Mungo division of the region, went crying when houses and properties were seriously destroyed following heavy winds that accompanied a disturbing downpour in Banga. These stories and more will be yours in the course of this news. Ladies and gentlemen, stay with us. Thanks for joining Equinoxe Television and trusting the best of television channel across the Republic of Cameroon and the Central African sub-region. We begin with one of our top stories. Several houses have been destroyed and properties taken away by runners following a heavy downpour accompanied by a disturbing strong winds in the town of Banga in the Mungo division of the littoral region of Cameroon. The people have gone crying. Meantime, administrators are reassuring them of a consequent support from top government officials in Cameroon. Immaculate Urada Simat Njikangebe takes us to the disturbing scene in Banga.
Elections Cameroon, Elekam branch office of Mbanga in ruins. The roofs of this office that was already dilapidated was taken off by strong breeze that accompanied heavy downpour in the locality on Wednesday. Apart from the destruction that was noticed at the Mbanga Elekam office, private homes were also touched with their roofs taken away and mattresses soaked by water. Private properties also suffered the destruction that was caused by the rains. This car saw its back windscreen damaged. The zone that was greatly touched by the strong wind was the market of Mbanga, where several stores saw their roofs rooted and items destroyed by rainwater. While others came to help to see how the things could be removed from the road, sources say several stores were also looted by those who came to help. Reasons why security forces were present at the scene to put order. During this time, the road was also blocked for several vehicles that came from Konsamba heading to the littoral region were stopped on one position.
A massive destruction caused by heavy downpour accompanied by strong winds in Banga, a town in the Mungo division of the littoral region of Cameroon. The divisional officer from Banga, speaking to Equinoxe Television's correspondent in Banga, indicated that the government will soon help the persons affected by the catastrophe. The people, however, are not sure of these promises, given that such cases or unfortunate situations recorded, like the case of a locality in the Kopemaninguba division, have not yet received assistance from the government of Cameroon. Let's now take a listen to an extract of Tembo Christian. He is the duo from Banga.
It's an unfortunate situation due to the torrential downpour associated with violent wind. The situation led to enormous damages. The damages could not be evaluated for now because the commission put in place is already in the field working. But I must precise that the damages are enormous. talking of the roofs of people residents that were removed, turned off, the electric poles falling off. The officials of the ENU, they are already in the field working, and they have reassured us that the population, the situation in the field concerning electricity population will have light before the end of today.
And those elements, that is the extract and the report, were selected and compiled by Smart Njikangebe. We take you to the nation's political capital city, Yaoundé, where some 12 individuals belonging to a gang of men of the underworld have been intercepted by elements of the National Gendarmerie. They are said to be specialized in stealing and, of course, activities that have been terrorizing inhabitants of Yaoundé and other surrounding localities, as Charles Kmer tells us in the following report.
Of notorious armed robbers have been apprehended by the judicial police for multiple aggressions and theft in the capital city of Yaoundé. The police force in the city has been tracking down this gang based on complaints from locals since February 2021, says Police Commissioner Denis Nto.
Ces recherches ont permis.
The research we made led us to a certain Ombede Joseph Marie, who is one of the brains behind the operations of the gang, which consists of 5 thieves, 3 mechanics, and 4 salesmen. The judicial police went on by carrying out a search at Ombede Jean-Marie's home, which was filled with stolen valuables.
La perquisition à son domicile.
The search warrant issued for his domicile in Sizamikang in Yaoundé led us to discover so many items, such as a painting studio, rifles with munitions, luxury cars, and so many other valuables which belonged to the victims. The Judicial Police Commissioner further explains the mechanisms and ingenuity behind this organized criminal syndicate.
Il s'agit d'un groupe bien organisé où chacun a un rôle précis. Les braqueurs.
The group was well organized, with everyone having a precise function. The thieves target victims, most of which are well-placed individuals in society, and rob them of their vehicles and valuables. The mechanics work by transforming the stolen vehicles, and the salesmen look for new clients to buy the transformed vehicles.
Des véhicules volés. Les receleurs chargés de la garde et de l'écoulement du butin.
At the premises of the Judicial Police in Yaoundé, the exhibition of these stolen items paints an idea of their criminal operations.
Le butin est constitué de 11 armes.
In total, we seized 11 rifles with war and hunting munitions. 11 luxury cars were also seized with 27 license plates, electronic appliances, and other valuables.
Et d'importants objets de valeur appartenant aux victimes.
A total of 12 people make up this gang, who have finally been put behind bars, awaiting justice to take its course.
Charles Kmer reporting there on the interception of the gang of thieves specialized in car thefts and other underworld activities in Yaoundé, Cameroon. And now we stay in Yaoundé to talk about activities of the underworld. To say that University of Yaoundé, 1 students and an official have been taken away. They have been taken away. The 2 students were taken away alongside 1 senior staff of the information service for conspiring to steal over 400 PBs, known as, that is the President Paul Biya's Higher Education Vision laptops in Cameroon, fondly referred to as PBs. The culprits were reportedly arrested by the police at the end of an investigation, or after an investigation was opened on the instructions of the rector of the University of Yaoundé 1. We shall be coming back to this particular story in subsequent editions of Information on Equinoxe Television. And now we take you to the southwest region of Cameroon, precisely to the Tiko subdivision, where the mayor of Tiko sees the Anglophone crisis, the COVID-19 and constant attacks on individuals in markets and economic activity centers in Tiko subdivision have adversely contributed to the low revenue collection of the Tico Council. He cries out that the revenue collection for the Tico Council is very low that is hampering the effective works of development for the municipal officials of Tico Council. Davidson Memo traveled from Limbe to Tico.
Tico subdivision, gateway to the southwest region, is one of the towns greatly affected by the socio-political unrest in the two English-speaking regions of Cameroon. In an ordinary session to examine the administrative, management and stores account for 2020 by councillors of the municipality, the mayor, Chief Peter Kmer III, says he prayed the Anglophone crisis comes to an end.
Tico Council is to boast of the companies he has around and make the economy of Tico boom. Crises out there have caused loss to the council.
The mayor and his team, though positively say through 2020 with 100% execution of all projects, says it was a difficult task given that he took over a budget prepared by his predecessor, coupled with unscrupulous revenue collectors within the council.
I took over office, I realized that there were some budget heads that were already exhausted when we were still in the first quarter, and it was so strenuous and disappointing. Some people have taken the council to be what the local parlance call chop farm. They harvest, and when the council is expecting the harvest, they put it in their pocket.
This, he promised hard time to those involved in the act.
That any of such person who will be caught will not only be sanctioned, it will be necessary that he or she leaves this environment, so that we use those who want to be honest.
He did not fail to address other obstacles the council is facing.
The Tico main market, witnessing a decrease of number of traders. The market completely shut down due to the constant control of resident permits during market days.
The first assistant SDO, Marilyn Yefon, on behalf of the senior divisional officer, promised to look into the issue.
The senior divisional officer took note of the problem faced by the council and has instructed the divisional officer for Tico to hold specific working sessions.
The mayor used the occasion to call on the population of Tico municipality to put all hands on deck for the development of the entire subdivision.
We cannot succeed to develop Tico if the population does not cooperate.
36 out of 41 councillors voted and adopted the 2020 account, which stood at 1,205,206,501 francs, giving a realization of 64%.
Just like the Tico subdivision of the Faku in the southwest region of Cameroon, with an adverse effect of the Anglophone crisis on council revenue, inhabitants of the Bamenda 3 subdivision are also complaining of the impacts of the disturbing socio-political environment and health crisis on their farming activities. The cries were recently heard by the mayor of the municipality, who came in to rescue by empowering the women technically and also financially, as Innocent as it tells us in the following report.
Agriculture, the backbone of Cameroon's economy. Unfortunately, this backbone is shattered by the about 5-year-old socio-political crisis in Anglophone Cameroon.
There have been a downtrend in the production within the past 4 years since the beginning of the Anglophone crisis.
Despite persistent kidnapping for ransom, rape, intimidation, killing, and other attacks faced by farmers in the two English-speaking regions, they still brave the odds to put food on the table and feed Cameroonians.
The crisis that that going to the farms, we take risk. We are taking that risk because we have taken it as a challenge that we must place food on the table of each Cameroonian. So we take the risk to go. No matter what is happening, you know what is happening.
Just like any other sector, the agricultural sector of these two regions is limping, with the one-time independent farmers now seeking assistance from all angles, like those in the Bamenda 3 subdivision of the northwest region, who saw Mayor Fongo Cletus Tanui and his collaborators extending a helping hand to encourage farmers and revamp agricultural activities.
It's just as we had some seeds before today, and we cried out
The Bamenda 3 Council believes farmers in the municipality could better standard of living with the farm seeds, organic manure, fertilizers and farm tools of all sorts to boost agriculture and raise standard of living.
Mobilize this equipment and planting seeds to encourage the farmers of the subdivision to engage in agricultural activity. If we encourage our farmers, we will also be expecting a very good production. So I am calling on all the farmers that have benefited from this equipment to put them into use, so that by next season or by December, that we'll be having our annual agro-pastoral show. We will be able to come out to exhibit what they have produced from what we have.
One of the beneficiaries hails and defines uses of these farm tools and inputs.
Because without the tools, we cannot do anything. Because of all have to use the tools. The first thing is that you have to clear and you use the grass like manure. The second thing is that when you have any place that you have to dig anything from there, we have this dig holes that they have given us. You use them in digging. Then the third thing is that you have to hoe your farm now, and you are seeing all the holes there. We cannot carry maize and hoe when we don't have what we'll use in working before planting. We will not do anything. So this is going to help us greatly.
How well have the agricultural tools and inputs have been used to meet daily needs and to fit the growing population of the Bamenda 3 subdivision shall only be known come December during an agro-pastoral show that will be organized by the Bamenda 3 Council under Me Fongukletus Tanui.
Innocent as reporting on the situation as the people are fighting to rise back from the devastating impact of the Anglophone crisis that has not left farmers indifferent in the northwest region of Cameroon. And we talk about health now, COVID-19, to say that some 300 or some 34,200 doses of the Sinopharm anti-COVID-19 vaccines have arrived the littoral region of Cameroon. The vaccination campaign is expected to begin tomorrow in different accreditation centers in Douala. The vaccines arrived Douala today and it will be administered to health workers, military personnel and teachers. It should be noted that vaccination remains optional. Take a listen to the governor of the littoral region, Samuel Jodene Ivahadzibwa, speaking to Immaculate Fogwe in Douala.
I received today about 34,200 vaccines, and we are going to begin the operation tomorrow at the level of La Quintinide, the level of Yassa, and also here at the level of the regional health service. And I would say that it is an occasion for me to say that the head of state has sent it to all the regions and to help people be very concerned by this situation of COVID-19. And we want people to give confidence to the government as it's taken these decisions, because many issues have been done here and there, but we can say that we have to be confident. They are going to begin with the medical personnel, and after those who are elders, the old people, and let me say the teachers and even the soldiers, but everybody will be concerned. It is the beginning. We have to begin by the one place going to the another place.
And in a related story, as we told you in our top stories, the consignment of more than 11,400 anti-COVID-19 vaccines have also arrived the northwest region of Cameroon April 14, 2021, with a target of main aim targeting frontline health workers to boost their morals within the different health districts of the northwest region. Priority is set to be given to health workers on personnel considered to be vulnerable, and they are also said to be belonging to the category of people highly exposed to COVID-19. Apart from frontline health workers, people more or less 50 years old, patients who are diabetic and hypertensive, those exposed to professional categories like teachers, security officials are also expected to be prioritized during the vaccination process. The vaccination will also begin in the health districts of the northwest region, like the case of the littoral region. We shall be having images from the northwest region to come back to them in subsequent editions of Information on Equinoxe Television. And now we talk something else. The Social Democratic Front, SDF political party that is fighting to stay back and stronger on the political landscape in Cameroon. On your images on the screen are members of the SDF party. They are in the Fumban, that is at the Sultanate of Fumban in the Noon Division of the West Region of Cameroon. They include some 3 senators of the Social Democratic Front SDF political party and members of the party, including the mayor of the Bafoussam, that is a mayor of Bafoussam 1, who is of the SDF party. They went to see the Sultan of Bamoun, that is to express their condolences following the death of one of the queen or the princesses of the Bamoun of Fondom, that is Princess Rabiato, who is said to have been a member of the SDF party. The delegation was sent by the national chairman of the SDF party, Nijon Frundi. Also among the people who went to Fumban was the national secretary of the SDF party, that is national secretary of the NEC, the National Executive Committee of the SDF party, Senator Jean Chumelo. And now we take you to a lake which is said to be a disaster lake. It was one of the lakes who caused havoc to inhabitants in the locality concerned, and Immaculate Fogwe tells us that there are risks that the same event, that is the lake that exploded some years ago, might witness the same scenario again, causing destruction in the locality concerned. Her report.
Memories of the Lake Munun disaster of August 16, 1984 are still fresh in the minds of the population of Kwoptamo in the Noon Division West Region. A disaster that left 32 persons dead and several others injured. The incident was caused by the release of large amount of carbon dioxide gas by the Lake Munun. Recently, fears have been raised by the population after several fishes were found dead along the edges of the lake. In order to prevent future explosion of the Munun Lake, the Cameroonian government plans sending experts on the site to carry out research in order to better enable the venting of the carbon dioxide gas. The Lake Munun project will go beyond securing the lake and the population, as it will equally boost the socio-economic development of the locality. The relaunch of this project is meant to ensure that everyone living around is secured. Experts will soon be sent on the site. The lake will equally be degassed. The coordinator of the project, Munshiro Maru Fabruk, believes with the support of government authorities and the population, the project will be successful. My team and I already started working on the lake. We are equally working with partners from other countries. By the time we are done, socio-economic activities will resume in the area.
que ce soit les Français, les Belges, j'ai de belles propositions.
The population of Kwoptamo expressed gratitude to the head of state for the initiative. They believe it will better mitigate unpleasant surprises that could occur in the days or years to come.
The lake concern is in the known division, or in Kotaba subdivision of the known division west region of Cameroun. Now we talk the installation of some new police officials in Kumba in the Meme of the southwest region, and also in Douala in the littoral region. Charles Kamer takes us to the installation ceremonies in the following report, indicating that the commanders were charged to fighting security in their respective areas of responsibility and duties. His report.
Traite désormais comme votre chef, commissaire central de la ville d'Edea, le commissaire divisionnaire Gilibite Jean-Georges, ici présent.
Gilibite Jean-Georges has been made the new police commissioner of the Edea Central Police Station in the Sanagama Maritime Division of the Littoral Region. The installation ceremony was chaired by the Delegate of National Security for the Littoral Region, Raymond Isogo, who vehemently urges the new commissioner to fight against dishonest and corrupt civil servants and public administrators in Edea.
Vous combattrez avec la dernière énergie.
You will have to fight against corrupt and dishonest civil servants in this town, and also will have to fight against the consumption of illicit drugs in Edea. Due to the bad reputation attributed to police officers in the country, some citizens in the town of Edea believe that the only way to fight against the rising crime wave across the country is by inculcating holistic moral values within the police force.
You know, a good policeman, when the population is ready to give him all the information they have, he should be very close to the population, get the right information at the right time, and be at the service of the population. This is the only way we can win to fight against criminality and highway robbery.
High unemployment rates and an under-equipped police force continues to fuel criminality in the town of Edea. Hopefully, the new police commissioner, Gilibite Jean-Georges, will fight to elevate the standards of the police force in Edea.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for staying with us in the first part of the news. Coming up is Talking Points. Thanks for joining us on Talking Points. On today's Talking Points, we are receiving a political analyst who is coming all the way from the nation's political capital city. Thanks for accepting our invitation, bro.
Thank you very much. It's an honor for me to be here. When I received your invitation, I was very happy to be here, because the things that we want to talk about are pertinent things that are actually disturbing our nation. We know this at a critical period of time where our nation is being hit hard by the crisis from all the angles. So I'm really happy to be here.
On this particular day, some 8 years ago, Cameroon had its first senatorial election, and the Senate was put in place after many years of waiting. That is, after many years that Cameroonians were waiting for that to be implemented, because it was part of the constitution for several years. 8 years after, what image do you have of the Cameroonian Senate?
Thank you very much, Mr. Fomi. Today it's already 8 years, like you said. That was the 13th of April 2013, where the Senate in Cameroon was being put in place. And actually, as we understand from the Cameroon Constitution, which is the supreme fundamental norm that actually governs the country, in its Article 14, it made mention of the fact that we have a parliament which we made of two houses, that's the upper house and the lower house. And the upper house, the lower house has been in place for a long time before the coming into place of the upper house. We think the President of the Republic thought it necessary that in order to achieve the objectives of the Constitution, it is important to put in place the Senate, which is the upper house and has a very big role to play. Because if we go forward to look at Article 26 of the Cameroon Constitution, we discover that the Senate has a very big role to play, because as an upper house under the legislative canopy of the state, it has has a role wherefore we look at Article 26, Sub 1, Sub 2, paragraph A, B, C, and D, E, we realize that the Senate has a handful of things that is supposed to do,
responsibilities, a lot of things that were expected of the Senate.
That is supposed to.
Actually, as per the Constitution, that's what the Senate should be. But have they been up to expectations as of now?
Thank you. That is where I am coming to, because we must have to understand what are the duties and responsibilities of the Senate before we can actually judge them, or because we can actually determine if they have done something or not. So going by that, we will discover that the Senate has a responsibility to, as a legislative organ, to ensure the security of the state, to ensure, to look into the nationality, to look into the territorial circumference, which we have to talk about the security, the defense, and the like. Now, going by that, we'll discover that in the place, let's take one after another. We'll look at the issue of nationality. What has the Senate done since it came into place? We have issues with people living in the national territory that has to do with double nationality, and we know that is a major problem which the Parliament has sat. The lower house has talked about it several times, and nothing has come up here for 8 years. We don't know what they're waiting for. Going by that, they also have that duty to ensure that to look into the property, the system, the regime of property in the country, ownership of property, movable or immovable. And with that, I want to ask another question. We have the Bakri land saga. We have the expropriation of UB lands. We have the selling of private properties of the Bakrian people. That's where we talk about the class quarters and the other things that have been sold by individuals.
And many other issues.
Concerning that. Not only that, the Senate also has the responsibility to look into the defense of the state. Now, we'll talk about the defense.
I'm not living at the Anglophone crisis.
That's what I'm coming to. The Anglophone crisis has been
it's a very key issue. We'll come back to that issue of the Anglophone crisis and some pertinent stories coming from the two Anglophone regions, and we shall also be analyzing the current situation that has been described by so many other persons as an impasse in an Anglophone crisis that has been on for too long. And I want us to take this report, that of the advertorial, which is that of the Ntarikun Cooperative Credit Union Limited, which has been awarded during the Guardian Post 2021 Best Microfinance Institution. It was during an award ceremony that took place in the nation's political capital city, Yaoundé. Innocent tells us more about the famous Ntarikun Cooperative Credit Union.
Being the fastest growing, most reliable, customer-friendly, and highest interest on savings to customers within the Samak sub-region, the microfinance institution, Ntarikun Cooperative Credit Union Limited, undoubtedly magnified eyes of the Guardian Post Media Group, that after compiling and counting votes from readers, a jury made up of renowned jurists and journalists declared it winner of the Guardian Post 2020 Best Microfinance Institution in Central Africa. This award was handed in Yaoundé, Cameroon, to the delighted Julius, branch manager of Ntakul, Cameroon, during the 18th edition of the Guardian Post Achievers Award.
Congratulations to that Union, the branches spreads across the national territory, towns of Lamenda.
We have been distinguished from other institutions because from the award we have been paying interest of 6% to our members for the past 6 years, and this year 2020 we paid interest of 5% to our members. Despite the health challenges and the Anglophone crisis, we are able to also pay 5% to our members in 2020. We equally distinguish ourselves in the way we grant loans to our members. We give soft loans to petty traders, we give loans to buy and sell arm, we give loans to contractors, and most of these loans are without collateral, because we know that those buy and sell arm, those petty traders, they don't have collateral. These loans we also give it to our members at a very small interest rate. Now, if you look, Ntarikun is one of the microfinance institutions that have implanted automatic teller machines, ATM, in most of its branches. With such development, you see that members can withdraw money at any time and even on public holidays when they need money. That is what makes us different.
Though highly contested, one reason explains why the Ntarinkon Cooperative Credit Union Limited succeeded to triumph over thousands of microfinance institutions.
Within the crisis period, especially in the northwest and southwest regions, they're able to look to take into consideration the poor people. They're able to increase the the interest on loans and the interest on member savings to 6% that no other credit or financial institution has ever done. If you also look at the number of readers of the Guardian Post, they have over 10,000 subscribers, and when they get the feedback from what they say, I think it gives every reason for the jury to consider Ntarinkon as one of the best in Central African region.
Ntakul has also been projected as a microfinance with exceptional staff when compared to others within the Semak sub-region. And one other.
We are also distinguished in the aspect of our staff. We have a well-trained staff, customer-friendly staff, that they are there in all the branches of the 14 branches of Ntarinkon Credit Union. The staffs are very welcoming, they receive the members very well, and they give them good treatment.
I am so honored and delighted to be part of the honoree to receive this 2020 Guardian Post Achievers Award as Indigenous Peoples Emancipation Award 2020. I think this award recall for hard work that we have been doing within our community.
With close to 30,000 members from all walks of life and from all 10 regions of Cameroon, Ntakul is a saving lending credit union that went operational in 1972 with 15 members. Ntakul offers uncountable benefits to anyone who becomes a member with a registration fee of only 7,500 francs. Members can also benefit from their diverse products and services at their Yaoundé, Douala, Betwa and Boya branch offices, as well as at their Bamenda branch office located in Ntarinkon with no burden-giving conditions.
Ntarinkon Cooperative Credit Union TACO awarded the best prize, or the prize of the best microfinance institution in Central Africa. Back to you, Kotem Prince Will. We were talking about what the Senate ought to have done vis-a-vis the problems of Cameroonians. We are on the issue of the Anglophone crisis. They have been silent all this while.
Yeah, thank you for me. You know, this issue of the Anglophone crisis is what baffles me most, because when I hear the government running around talking about coronavirus, the vaccine and the like, I come back to ask myself this question. Now, the Senate has been in place for 8 years now. 8 years, we've had an Anglophone crisis that's been running for 5 years. Okay, and now one of the main objectives of the Senate is to ensure national defense, ensure the freedom and liberty of the citizens. What has the Senate done in line to ensure that the Anglophone crisis, at least even in session, because the Senate has 3 sessions every year, 3 ordinary sessions every year of 30 days per session. Now, they can have extraordinary sessions as the Constitution puts it, but this 30 days per session, that's 90 days that the Senate sits every year, and for 5 years today, going to 6 years, the crisis has been ravaging Cameroon, and no one is talking about it. The Senate, just like the National Assembly, they have been quiet and
the National Assembly came out recently, though on a move that was widely criticized, asking the U.S. sister institution to stop meddling.
Yeah, that is where I want to nail a point, because we expect, you know, people should always be capable of distinguishing the parliament. The parliament is made of 2 houses, like I said before, the National Assembly and the Senate. Now, the National Assembly, some of the members, the honorables of the National Assembly, after the Senate, because the Senate house that actually wrote to the Cameroon government, telling them about the Anglophone crisis and what they should do and what they should not do. That's where we saw some of it. Was like members of the National Assembly did not exist, or the parliamentarians are not existing in Cameroon. It was surprising to understand that only when the American Assembly wrote to them, that is where we saw most of them coming out to show, to even refuse the fact, that denounce the fact that the Anglophone crisis is something that has emergency and urgency to it.
Now we'll go finally. I just want to come up with this concern that the crisis is still there. We're having insecurity in some areas in the northwest region. How would it be possible for this COVID-19, 11,000 doses that have arrived in the northwest region, to be administered out of Bamenda and out of places that are considered stable like Camer and others?
Yeah, that is the funniest thing, because I want to say, since the coronavirus started in Cameroon, that's spreading, we have 919 deaths. But as per the Human Rights Watch, the Anglophone crisis has already caused more than 3,000 deaths of civilians and more than 100 of defense forces. Now you realize that this is a part of the country which is mostly inaccessible, which is almost neglected by the government. It has been neglected, not almost. But now you're talking about the coronavirus and you're rushing with vaccines there. What do you want to vaccinate when most of the people are in the bushes? What do you want to send the vaccines to? Now, what even is the vaccine an emergency as per the Anglophone crisis? That is a question we should be putting on the table, because we have these people who are parliamentarians, representative of the people, have to ensure that the people, the livelihood of the people is being cherished, to ensure that these people live in peace. But there have been no peace in the northwest and southwest for all this time, and now you're bringing out vaccines and you're trying to push them in. Where are the parliamentarians? Besides, if we're talking about parliamentarians,
where would the administration be? How
if we're talking about parliamentarians,
especially
these people, we have parliamentarians who are actually representative. They told us that they were being voted, because we saw the elections that passed, the February 9 polls, and the twin. Who were those who voted, and how did they have access? Now you are taking vaccines there.
Yes,
the same place you're considering that it is a very big concern, if we have to put it that way.
It's a big concern, Prince Ray. Unfortunately, time is not on our side. We thank you very much for accepting to be with us to discuss on key issues.
Thank you very much, Mr. Armstrong. I understand we don't have enough time. It will be my pleasure to honor your invitation next time so that we can talk about it.
We shall be requesting to have you next time so we can talk about key issues and talk detailedly. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for your keen attention. Keep trusting and stay with Equinoxe Television.